Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is NUR SYUHANA ABD Hanan. I'm from CS259. For my final year project, the title is Book Review Analytics using K-mean clustering algorithm. My supervisor is Dr. Muhammad Zaki Zakaria and my co-supervisor is Dr. Aziza Muhammad Ali. For the introduction, a book is a medium for documenting information in the form of writing or image, typically made up of several pages bound together and covered by a cover. Useful visual analysis of online customer review, which has a big impact on the analysis of review and interest in determining effective decision making. For the visualization, it will use a clustering approach. Clustering is based on similarity, where similar elements are kept in a single group. The idea of dividing large data into smaller sets seems to offer the advantages. In this work approach, book reviews, analysis, visualization is created and implemented which help to recommend books based on the keyword. The problem statement for this project is people have a lot of options in the real world and the main challenge is selecting one out of them. For the person who does not have enough personal experience to evaluate, they often take the other person's opinion in choosing one of many items. But by taking their opinion, it will take a long time to make a decision. These days, many books have been published and many types of books can be found. Whenever the user searches for any book from the available large data, he or she gets confused by the number of items shown, which one to choose. So for research objectives, the research objectives that are associated to this research project are as follows. First, to identify the keywords of the book review. Second, to design and develop a book review analysis visualization using the result of K-mean clustering algorithm. For the scope, the data will be scraped from Amazon.com website and the product review are selected from three genres of book, which is fiction and fantasy, mystery and thriller, and romance. For the significance of the project, the first is recommending. The book reviews analysis dashboard is created, which helps ensures the title of book that has the keyword related to the review. And the second is a time. The user are able to minimize the time taken to go through all the book in order to find the book that has a good review and keyword that they want. Summary of literature review is a book. The cover of a book is always the first contact and is creating an impact on the reader by Ivana. And a review is the personal reflection of the reviewer's opinion about the book, in which he or she communicates to the reader, such as was the book good and worth. According to the survey that this article has done by Escadelis and Matthaus, it showed that for every purchase they make, 30% of shoppers under the age of 45 check reviews, while 86% say reviews are important in making purchasing decisions. The next literature review is tag clustering. The objective of tag clustering is to group a collection of unlabeled tags in such a way that the tags in the same cluster are more similar than those in other clusters. Next is K-mean clustering. K-mean algorithm is proposed by McQueen in the year 1967. It focuses on separation of n numbers of data into k number of clusters where each data belongs to the cluster with approximate mean distance. And the last for literature review is silhouette analysis. The coefficient of silhouette near 1 shows that the sample is far from the neighboring cluster, while the coefficient of silhouette 0 indicates that the sample is on or very close to the determination boundary between the two neighboring clusters. The coefficient of silhouette less than 0 means that the certain sample might have been allocated to the wrong cluster or outlier. So for the methodology, research framework. For the first objective, to identify the keyword of the book review, it has 5 phases. First, preliminary study. Second, knowledge acquisition and analysis. Third, data collection, for data processing, and lastly, modeling. For the second objective, it is to design and develop a book reviews analysis visualization using the result of K-mean clustering algorithm. It has four phases of design and implementation, development, testing and evaluation, and lastly, documentation. This figure about architecture. First, the data are scraped from Amazon.com and data about the user rating and review text. The data will do a pre-processing by doing a data cleaning, data transformation, and data reduction. And natural language processing will be done by tokenization in Mustard and TF-IDF. To get a topic tagging user clustering technique, it will use a K-mean clustering. And the analysis result will get a cluster of words related to the topic and list of book reviews analysis. The result will be visualization by using a dashboard in Power BI.
For the result, it have three genres, but we focus on fiction and fantasy. For the bigger figure at the left, it is to find the optimal K for the genre fiction and fantasy. We have to choose the value of K at the elbow to determine the optimal number of clusters, such that the point after which the distortion starts to decrease in a linear. Therefore, we conclude that the optimum number of K are 4 and 7 for the given data. The plot for y-axis is sum of square error SSE against the number of clusters for x-axis. From the figure at the right, you can see that N cluster 7 have a highest average silhouette score. Good clustering will be suggested if it has higher average width of the silhouette. Since N cluster 7 is selected, so we can see from this figure that cluster label 1 is the good cluster because the coefficient is big close to 1 to have a good cluster and not below 0 that will lead the data belong to one cluster. So the keyword for genre fiction and fantasy are Harry Potter, Rowling, series, year, Hogwarts, love, world story, and Voldemort.
Of the keyword that were gotten from the result of clustering, it will use the certain keyword that is related to the genre. For example, the keyword from clustering which is Harry Potter, Rowling, series, year, Hogwarts, love, world, story, Voldemort. The keyword chosen is Harry Potter, series, love, world, story, and Voldemort. Let's go and to the uh, mystery and thriller and also for the romance. So for the dashboard, it want to make a user able to know that the title of book that will focus on n number of total of book based on genre. On the right corner, each user can compare the rating between 4 star until 5 star. Slicer is used for rating purpose because slicer allow a user to sort and filter a structure report and view only the details they want. Below the rating is genre, where user can see genre of book and the number of total will show at below and the right on this figure. From this figure, we can see it has 162 books for all genre. The number will change when the user select the genre that they want. So for this visualization, it showed the result of clustering and the keyword that were used to show the title of book and review. From figure at right above, if the user choose the keyword Harry, it will appear the title that have a keyword Harry. And the figure at the below, it show the review that user choose the keyword and the title. For this dashboard, this dashboard show the keyword on the title of book and genre. The user can choose the type of keyword at the upper left and the genre and the title will change based on their selection. From figure at right, we can see the keyword love is selected and it shows the keyword love mostly mentioned in genre fiction and fantasy and romance. You can see there is 6 books that have related with keyword love. So for the conclusion for this project had achieved all the objectives. This project output is a dashboard that visualizes the result of clustering and the list of books and reviews based on keywords selected. The project turns out it can help the user to get better information and views on review based on keyword and also help them in choosing a book with chosen keyword.
That's all for me. Thank you.